So they dragged my ass out here on a Sunday. But you know what I'm gonna do after this? A little bit of roulette and some gambling. But I don't want to bore you guys with gambling, so we're gonna just do a little walk around the meet. And these are the 3 of the new purchases for the 316 speed guys, Florida. They're not driving them to Florida because I made a bet that none of them would make it, but they said they all would. I don't believe it. So yeah, that's the 33, 34. No, that's 34, 33, 32. Yeah, I don't know too much about Japanese cars, so fry my ass.
Hi, how you doing? A lot of people. Thanks for coming, guys. Hey, long time no see, buddy. How you doing? Good. Thanks for coming. Yeah.
Good. We wouldn't miss it.
Yeah. Thanks for coming. I like the shirt.
We wouldn't miss it. These guys been aching to come back here for a little while.
Cool. Good seeing you. Hey, good seeing you, bud. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. Nice meeting you.
These little lug nuts, man. Like,
imagine walking by them.
yeah, just I got my pants torn because one of these lugs. No, not the kind of vibe.
That's a cool car. I like RX-7s.
Oh, I know Vargas. Hey,
So what's going on?
you guys like
today?
Doritos? He likes Doritos. That's why I like RX.
How does
That's why I like
Doritos have anything to do with RX-7?
rotary motor. They call them Doritos. That's what they're. Internet roast the man. Let him know.
Anyway, so today we had what's called Supercar Sunday. Is that what it is?
You got me out of bed.
You know something. Essentially, everybody comes and hangs out and kind of socialize, right? For everybody that did make it, thanks for coming. Great turnout. I'd say how many 100 cars?
Oh yeah, we definitely had over like 50 cars here.
That's a lot more than 50, fool.
I mean, I'm just making
A couple
a
hundred.
conservative guesstimate. If you have the actual total number, you'd probably impress.
Next time though, listen, if you came and you're ripping up and down my fucking road, you're gonna get me in trouble. Cut.
Yeah, unless you got a coyote, then we'd want you. Because then they give everybody else a good name, you know, like Mustangs will do Mustang things.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, I recently started watching you guys' videos. I'm really interested. Just wanted to see if you guys had any pointers on what I could do to kind of help out my channel. So
You want the cold heart.
a cold hard truth.
It might take you a long time, but just stay yourself.
Yeah, just be yourself.
Be your fucking self.
And
However
don't
that may
like
be.
follow the trends. Like
Yeah,
make
don't
your
follow
own-
the trends.
Yeah, grow your own
It's
audience.
gonna take
Like,
you a long
you don't
time.
need to latch
I've been doing
on.
this for.
1 day and a half.
I've been in cars. You know, I started my car career in 2005. What is that? 14 years?
Yeah, just about.
And it took that long to get to where we're at, and we're still not even where we would like to be, right?
Yeah.
But the moral of the story is just be yourself.
Okay.
Right? Cool. Be yourself.
Yeah. thank
People
you.
follow
Appreciate it.
organic
People
things.
want to be real, because when they run into you, right, and they notice like, damn, this dude's the same. As you notice, our vocabulary doesn't change. We try to tone it down, but we're just ourselves. If you don't fucking like us, you don't like it. Be yourself.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Oh, hey, you know, I'm here with the fan.
What's up? It's Kicks. We out here.
Yeah, you know, he's got a little bit of a following somewhere.
Damn,
Johnny. Some of you guys
That's
might know
clout
that.
right
Probably
there, baby.
don't.
I know.
Teach him about
Hey,
clout.
Cloud chasing 101. Build a fast car, race people.
damn, he's teaching us. Hey, that's your tip of the day right there. For real though. You
Keep
gonna
fresh
do it?
kicks.
You gonna do it or what? You gonna put some
Eventually,
shit in
I
there?
am.
Eventually.
Eventually, I
Come
am.
on, man.
For now, I'm just.
I heard
I'm
John
racing you
Hicks
guys
is
with
my,
that.
hey, John Hicks might go turbo.
Hey, he got 1 million subs though.
Hey, he did. That's my little brother. That's my little brother.
That's what's up. Yeah, I know John. We're supposed to link up soon too.
Yeah, do a
He's
little
like,
R8.
yeah, he's like, you inspired me to get R8, bro.
Hell yeah, you know.
I like the R8.
But he's got a
I
real
just-
power car in the garage. If you know, if you know, if you
It's a
know.
little 350, nothing big.
If you know.
Just a big slick on it. Eventually, yeah. I have like 5 people that want to do it. But
I
your
bet it's
your
anno-
guys'
I
kids
bet
are
it's
sick.
annoying, though.
Honestly,
Every
it is a
day-
low-key a little bit annoying because
Everyone.
people like, you know.
If people tag you in it like you've never heard of
Yeah,
us, and
yeah.
you're like, yo.
You don't know how many times I got that UGR, that one shooting the flames.
Yeah.
Recently, dude, I got that like every day I get it sent to me.
I bet.
I'm like, bro, I seen it already. I know, like that guy spent like 150K on his build. Like it should be cool, dude. Like chill. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna do twins eventually. It's just not a priority.
Nah, yeah, of
You know?
course not, man.
I'm trying to get rid of my Evo and do some investments right now and get the money up so that way I can do it the right way.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
You know, but if you need,
but you guys, I'll tell you guys for sure, you do the best kids. Like as far as the craftsmanship and like the way the kids look and everything.
We'll make sure kids, you know, tone it down with the tagging you in. We're gonna make his exhaust look like the Jumpman. His Jumpman.
Oh, yeah, just make it look like my exhaust on the Z. Perfect. Just a Toman.
We could probably
fat
do that.
Tomei. Just
Just
fat
one
Tomei
single
on
one.
it.
Hey,
Yeah.
recirculate both turbos into one.
Yeah, just fat Tomei. Just tuck it in there somehow, chop it in half.
You really can. Yeah, you
Yeah.
could.
Fat Tomei. Is that a Tomei dog? Yeah, it is Tomei. No way, bro. How'd you do that?
Is that what that saying came from?
Yeah.
You guys, someone I was walking
So
by.
look, the whole saying, the Tomei thing, everybody knows Tomei exhaust, right? So that's the whole single exit, like on Z's. 2 years ago, people hated it. No one's like dual exhaust, and then we started, putting the single out there, and it's a Tomei. So I'm always doing the 8 foo, 8 dog, shit. And then that just was like, is that Tomei dog? And it just people liked it.
No wonder right now I'm walking by. I was like, hey, is that Tomei? I'm like
what?
He asked me. I don't fucking know, and I answered. I didn't know the joke.
Let me get my knees dirty and check what brand it is real quick.
Yeah, I had to come
Stop
check it out
in
at
whenever.
least. Definitely goals. I'll have a shop one day like this. Maybe be his competitor.
There's no competitor. The ocean's big enough for everyone.
Yeah, there is enough R8s out
When
there.
you hear people like me telling you to go to Gentani, you know damn right the ocean's big.
So you have that shit done in a week?
Yeah, that's because you motivated us. You came in here.
He said he brings us candy and
Feed you guys
food.
pizza and
foot
candy.
massagers and nose hair trimmers.
Let me tell you, man, these guys are the real deal. I had this shit dropped off. We had a holiday on Monday, and you guys busted out like in 6 days. Yeah.
I could have
Literally, you had everything up like in 2 days. Most.
If Johnny would have showed up to work on Friday, it would have been done in 5 days.
Of course,
I'm gonna keep saying that one.
Johnny goes on holiday and the whole world shuts down. Damn near airport shut down because I didn't come to work.
Hey, I'm driving this first time on pump gas.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. For sure to the right.
I was contemplating of selling the car. Never again. This is definitely the real deal. Smooth, feels great.
Just wait till that one comes out.
It felt like
And then you're really gonna be like, all right, I want to get that.
it's never ending.
Yeah, it is never ending.
But
It's
you
the
know, when you
addiction
have
horse.
good family people like these guys, you can't ask
Positive
for more.
vibes all the
You
way
can't
around.
ask for more, man.
I'm about to go snowboarding. Alright, look at this
car real quick. Yo,
You're not
bro.
drinking clauses, you're not bringing the love, baby. Motherfucking head ass.
This fool.
Does he even know how to snowboard?
No?
Go skate.
Do you even know how to work on one?
Ooh, we calling you out.
So, Friday, 3-day weekend, man. 3 days is not enough to go to the East Coast. Nah, for real. I had a flight booked, but it was supposed to be an afternoon flight, and the airline changed the flight up, or I didn't pay attention to the ticket, and it was actually 7 a.m., not 7 p.m., like I thought. So, yeah, I didn't show up to work, and Alex is a little mad about it, I guess, Yeah, they put up a post looking for a tech. If someone could fill my shoes, come on, bring it, show up. I'll gladly give you my job, but it's not gonna happen, man. What you talking about, boy? Damn, it's great. I mean, he got the wrong size, but
Yeah, I do like coconut berries. Good job.
You still owe me one. You still owe me one. Yeah.
hey, let's figure out once and for all. Sugar-free or all sugar? I go sugar-free, so comment below, see who really takes the cake. There's all kinds of fucking shit that's going on here right now that I can't talk about. A lot of things. And like, it just itches at me. Like, don't say anything stupid. The parts for the Impala should be here, so that's exciting. You guys gonna see in the next upcoming videos. I'm like excited. Like the other day I woke up in the middle of the night. God fucking damn it! I just hit my knee on this thing.
Nicholas, strap that a little harder. Strap it a little harder. Strap the dyno. Can you hit the straps one more time? So we gained 30 horsepower just by dropping it whenever he dropped it, right? So look at this cool stuff. It's all boost solenoid targeted, so we don't see much boost as you can see here. This is the area we're targeting between 20 and 10. So, yep. So on Friday we fired the car Thursday night, and then Friday went over it, make sure there's no leaks, and I started running it on the dyno. I think I ran on the dyno Friday. No, I didn't. Saturday. Ran it on pump gas, got all dialed in timing. And then we started on race gas, but there was a firmware update with Motec, so we wanted to wait till we got the new firmware update today, which is Monday, installed before we get the being done. So updated the firmware, turned the boost up. My personal car, only stock engines, I run like 13 to 14 pounds of boost. On customers' cars, I don't like to run them that high. I mean, they're safe, but there's no need to. So like this car, just the customer is very new to it, so we want to kind of ease into them. Low boost, it'll be about 7 pounds of boost, and then high boost for him will be 11 pounds of boost. They make pump gas is probably making on a fair dyno 800, and then on race gas is making a little bit over 900 to the wheel, which is a lot of power. I think the most thrown around word in the automotive industry is horsepower. 900, 1,000 sounds better than 900, but when the guy that's only claiming 800, 900 beats with a claimed 1,000, 1,100 horsepower car, kind of, it's why you shouldn't really be talking about what your cars make. Just let the cars do the talking for them, right? Essentially, the objective to any of this is to make sure that at the boost levels that we are targeting, air fuel's good, ignition timing's good, it's not knocking. So just on that hit right there, what we'll do is we'll pull the data log, right? So we'll retrieve the data. I'm going to show you some stuff, the kind of stuff that we look at. So the beauty, so this is version 9 for Moshi. Version 9, wide open throttle, race fuel. Let's download that, then I'll show you guys what we look at. So I have a very great understanding to all of this. However, the developer behind all of it, we work together, is Tony from T1 Race. As everybody is very knows, we're very transparent. So I'll send the log to Tony, have him look at it all. He tells me it's good, we send it, right? But I'll look at some stuff too. Like sometimes I'm like, hey, do you see this? But he essentially will look at the things that I don't see. I look at the basics to make sure everything's good, no knocking, all that stuff. So now that I pulled the log, if you look here, so I'll open the log. It's kind of pretty self-explanatory, right? The way I kind of have things set up. So zoom out, find the hit. So we made a couple hits of wide open throttle. So we'll find this one. So we have 2 banks. The way these things work, a V10, you have 5 cylinders per side. We divide them, so we essentially run 2 engines. Now the point of that is to have very good efficiency on both sides. So we have 4 map sensors. We have 2 before the throttle body, which is essentially referred to as a boost sensor. Then after throttle body is a map sensor. Then we have 2 temp sensors, 1 per bank. And we have 2 boost solenoids. So instead of having 1 solenoid control both turbos, we have 1 per bank to control the turbos. So, and then of course you have lambda sensors, which the most common guy will know it as an air fuel meter sensor. Okay, so we'll put it in layman's terms. So I'll just show you some stuff here. First and foremost, we look at lambda. We look at things in a lambda perspective. So we have bank 1, bank 2. We can unplug this. So we have bank 1 and bank 2. So I kind of run the crosshair. You see the yellow guy? I just kind of run it and then I read the number to make sure it's all good, right? And then we look at wheel slip. Wasn't slipping there on the dyno. Then we go to this one. We look at ignition timing, and then this is very crucial because this will tell me if there's a boost leak on one bank which is very easy to get a boost leak. So if both boost controllers are essentially targeting the same thing, give or take a little bit. I zoomed out on accident. Let me zoom back in. Right, so they're both targeting, one's targeting 32%, 33% duty cycle, the other one's 29. And then look at boost pressure, bank 1 and bank 2, 172 kPa 0.8, 172.3. So they're damn near on the money, each bank, right? So each side of the engine is seeing pretty even boost solenoids. 11.2, 11.3 pounds of boost. Look at that, damn near solid. So if you have one line higher than the other, then you're gonna know one bank seeing more boost than the other and you have a problem. It could be electrical, it could be vacuum, it could be a bad boost solenoid, it could be many things. Just to kind of give you an example, my personal car, we go to hit it, we first got it running, bank 2, because the boost solenoid, what it's trying to do is, it's a pulse width solenoid, so it just clicks. What a boost solenoid is trying to do is target whatever boost pressure you want. So we have inputted 11 pounds of boost. So the boost solenoid, depending on the altitude or all the conditions that the ECU sees, is gonna pulse with whatever it needs to target that. So as you can see here, boost 1, bank 1 is 33% duty cycle, while the other one's only 29. That's not necessarily bad, okay? But it's doing whatever it needs to do, depending on, you know, vacuum line orientation. A lot of factors play this. So on my car, I hit it and boost solenoid went to 100% on one of the banks, and it was only seeing 5 pounds of boost, which tells us the boost solenoid is full maxed out at 100%, and it's only seeing 5 pounds of boost. Right away we assume vacuum leak, right? It's leaking the boost somewhere and it's trying to get it to hold more, to give more pressure, and it's not, so it keeps going, and it maxed out at 100 clearly. So, and it wasn't a vacuum leak. We smoke tested it. The sensor wiring is 2 pins. One of the pins inside the connector was bent down, causing it not to get a correct contact, causing it not to work. Little things like that. Moral of this story is, if I would have had one boost solenoid, I would have caught it still. Yeah, I guess that one doesn't matter. But you just want to be able to see both banks, right? Especially for vacuum leaks, because each side has its own, vacuum line configuration. I'm gonna turn the car back on because it's hot and shit. All right, so look at boost. I always quickly just look at boost, right? Both banks are good, and then I'll go to, this tells me engine speed, targeted torque, slip, clutch slip. And then I go to the most important window, which I find to be this one. Why this is the most important window? This essentially tells us how much more we can keep hitting the car. So you see this orange line? That's threshold, knock threshold, okay? All this, the little lines down here, all 10 cylinders, the noise, the knocking. So our threshold is pretty safe, it's pretty low, okay? See the lines right here? You see that one little red spike? You're gonna have spikes here and there, no big deal. But all these were spiking high, that means it's knocking. Knocking comes from A, not enough octane in fuel, or 2, too much goddamn timing, right? So timing is timing is the most important thing, right? I'd rather run less timing and more boost than more timing and less boost. So our threshold, I look at this right away, right? Now as it keeps revving up, the knock does get a little louder, right? So what we'll probably do is I'll send this to Tony, and Tony might back a degree out of it, or Tony say, hey, it's safe, let it ride, right? I don't make that decision, Tony makes that decision. But I always just look at threshold, right? Because you never know, every car's gonna be a little bit different, right? Now, this is very important too, because we're on the dyno, we have 100 octane race fuel in here, right? We have a perfect condition today. It's a beautiful day, intake air temps are phenomenal. Why having a knock threshold is so important is you go out on a 100-degree day, you put some bad fuel in it, right? And you run it without having a proper safety setting like this. If I'm showing you that the threshold's already, if I had to throw a percentage, 60%, right? To getting 100, which is the orange is 100, and you put it in a hotter day by 15 degrees, you happen to get a slightly bad batch of fuel, what do you think it's gonna do? It's gonna knock. When things knock, rods come out the engines, things get hurt. On our cars, for example, if that was the case, the car would go into limp mode and shut the car off. And it would just cut the car really, really bad, right? The owner at that point, the car kind of knocked. I have good relationships with all my customers. I ask them what the conditions were. We pull the logs, we review it, and go from there. You're never in a perfect world scenario when you build a car. I don't give a f what anybody tells you. It does not exist. from anybody. This is why all these things are very important to us. Just things like that. So anyways, that pretty much wraps up this car. We're gonna finish putting it together, give it a mushy, and just let him enjoy it. You know, we got these packages down very good. You know, Tony and I have put a lot of time into this shit. So our 1,000 horsepower packages are done. Now on these cars, we're gonna just add flex fuel sensors in them to be able to run ethanol, because $10 a gallon for race fuel gets fucking expensive. Now we got our next step is now we're gonna do our 1,500 horsepower and a 2,000 horsepower build. The difference between the one from one to another is gonna be the transmission gear set. So we're building a Gen 1 R8 for a gentleman in Michael out of Florida that we're gonna start on. You'll probably see in this video, maybe, who knows, but we're gonna start on that pretty soon, and then Tony and I are gonna work on developing our 15 and 2,000 horsepower package and just keep going, right? Evolution. So, but one thing at a time. It takes a lot of time and a lot of hours and a lot of stress and a lot of figuring out, but that's what we're here for.
Can't wait for, like, I can't wait for it. You guys haven't released a vlog for some time now, and so it's kind of. I was actually my buddy's wedding. I wasn't watching it, so I was like, might as well fly down to see Sheepey.
You literally just flew down to come here?
Yeah, I'm flying out tomorrow. Well, here in just LA. I've never been, so.
What's your Instagram?
Roman.la.
Roman, are you from LA?
No, I'm
From LA, Louisiana?
South Carolina.
What's LA for?
My last name.
It's
too long to spell.
Alright. Too long to spell, but yeah, Roman.la. Johnny from LA.
Yeah, pretty much.
Same thing.
Close.
Next time bring claws, man. You're playing favorites here, you know?
Yeah.
You're playing favorites.
Bring the claws.
Yeah, I couldn't find him fast enough when I walked into Walmart. So.
Easy A's pulling that excuse. They're short.
The
shortage.
Trust me, I got
It's all right.
There is no shortage. I just couldn't find him.
I mean, there's no shortage. But yeah, thanks, man. We appreciate it. I gotta get back to work.
All right.
3, 6, 9. I'm bad at math, but I would say about 20. 20 bags of Cool Ranch Doritos. I don't need Doritos. Made it.
Why the f you lying?
That's what we need. White Claw sponsorship would be like the ultimate, because we'd be at like Shift Sector next month, just fucking stacked White Claws. Like everyone's all serious. We're gonna be the goofballs, but we really.
So lately I've been really pushing the limits of my personal car. Before factory engine, race gas, we didn't really run much boost. 9 pounds. I've been kind of leaning on them. We're at 13 pounds. And now the car's fast. I mean, the car went 455 in the 60 to 130 in Mexico. Which is quick. I mean, it was in TC part of second. And anytime you're in TC, which is traction control, you're essentially killing power. Rear wheel drive, so it gets tricky. So we're gonna put it on the dyno today. Kind of play with ignition timing, try to make some more power out of it. And if we have enough fuel and the engine's happy, go up on the boost a little. So it's a beautiful day. It's cold, probably 70 degrees.
Doing some CrossFit.
So
A little bit of CrossFit.
it's a perfect day for testing like this. You know, I'm kind of in a position with everything that I do today. Caught up. Well, I mean, we're never caught up in the shop, but I'm caught up for now until Johnny wants me to hold his dick. Yeah, I'm putting this on the dyno and see if we can extract another. This is the problem with turbo guys. I mean, when you're a true like horsepower junkie, especially these cars are so fucking smooth that you think they're slow after a while, right? So the car's probably right on 1,000 wheel. I get another 100 out of it. I'm pushing it though. But we'll see. I mean, lovely perks of Motec, they keep us protected when they don't like something. So, yeah. Stay tuned. Other than that, Johnny Boy's putting Moshi's car together. This thing runs great. Drove it around all weekend. Phenomenal power, as you guys probably saw if you follow us. Our post and him ripping on it. I think this video will have some. He's working on those things. We won't say whose cars they are, but we can put one and one together. Johnny Boy's getting those running for him so they could take them tomorrow. Other than that, we got the usual going around. Come on, I'll show you. As you guys know, like we have jigs for everything. So we'll build and mount everything out of the jig, and then we'll build half of the exhaust out of the jig and then the remaining off the car. Just because between the bumper and the chassis, when you put the exhaust to it, you have very tight room. So being that we have such a big team, we're able to do things in segments and stages where Nick will do the final exhaust off the car. I got Anthony over there burning the intercoolers. So everybody kind of has their thing, right? A car is probably touched by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys. So anytime we do a full turbo build, there's 5 people involved with it. From Charlie building the adapters and the jig fixture, or Nick, but it's usually Charlie that builds them. Then Nick will do the exhaust system. Anthony will do the intercoolers, and then Nick will then mate the intercoolers to the throttle body and the turbos. Now, why it comes back to Nick is we use vibrant bands for everything. As in the past, I've showed you guys in the videos that if the ferrules are slightly crooked or off, it won't seal. So you gotta, anytime you do anything with some sort of ferrule in it, it has to be built off the car. If there's T-bolts and couplers, I can mount them and put a coupler on it and send it, because if it's 2 degrees off and a 1/16 of an inch off, the coupler will compensate for it. But given that we don't use no silicone couplers or T-bolts on any of these cars, the final of the intercooler with going on the car is done off the car. After it's all fabricated, then it gets all ripped back apart, goes to coating, which we'll show you guys, and then it comes back for assembly, then it comes back to me for plumbing. And so, I'm the guy that lays all the pipe around here. These little guys don't know how to lay the pipe. You know how to lay the pipe? Always. So, and then from there we fire, dyno, tune it, send it, right? So, got Nick building 3 kits, 4 kits, 5 kits. You got 5 kits on your list. How many kits you got on your list?
3 by
He's got to build.
Saturday.
He's got to finish 3 complete kits by Saturday. He doesn't have to, but he will. Yeah, he's going to. Nick, don't f around. No, but nobody here f around. We all have our thing, So we all work in harmony. So I got nothing to plumb today. Johnny's doing the final assembly on Moshe's car, getting Briar's cars out of here. He's building 3 turbo kits. Charlie's doing a 3,000 horsepower Camaro project over there, which I can't show you guys yet. Anthony burning intercoolers, and I'm gonna go on the dyno and make some power.
We talked about Cydex.
That S word.
What's that?
It's a venereal disease.
We've made some changes around.
We've updated.
Anyways, so it's kind of cool. So let me get to the factory ECUs, and then I'm gonna show you some cool stuff. Yeah, you're gonna record all this. So, with Cyvex, and I'm just gonna compare them. They're both great. But Cyvex has what's referred to as a live S12 box, the ECU. Then these cars are port injection and direct port injection. And the Cyvex box cannot drive DI injectors. I don't know the technical aspects of it, why. So they have a direct injection box. Then they have what's called a CAN bridge box. It communicates the chassis protocol to the ECU, yada yada. So you have 3 boxes in total. And as you guys all know, those things are pretty cluttered back there. So mounting all that thing to still look cosmetically appealing can be a pain in the ass. So Motec did things a little bit different. These cars have a master and a slave. Master's on the passenger side, slaves on the driver's side. USDA cars, right? So essentially you have 1 ECU per bank. 1 ECU for 5 cylinders, another ECU for 5 cylinders, right? So Motec kind of did exactly the way they do things is the same strategy as what factory does, Bosch does. As anybody knows, Bosch is a huge manufacturer. So anything that they develop works very well. That's why they are one of the best. So you have a master and a slave. These factory ECUs, let's compare. You see these things right here, these narrow items, they slide into these plastic clips and they clip in, creating the ECU not to move anywhere, right? Now let's compare to this. See these little guys? They slide in. And they slide in. So each ECU then mounts in the factory location. You don't got to zip tie, you don't have to add nothing. So we're gonna go ahead and assemble the master and so we have the master and then a slave. Cool? And then we go based off of this. ECU 68, ending in 68 is the master. Tony sends them to me already pre-registered and everything is masters and slaves. So we know that the 68 is a master, this is a master, and let's go ahead and begin to assemble. I normally don't do this. Yo, Johnny boy! How do I do this? Never mind, I figured it out. It goes like this. Okay, cool. So,
Other way.
are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. I only put in.
I know.
Backwards.
This is why he makes the big bucks. And don't clown me, guys. Johnny's the installer. I just plug it in and make it happen. But I also know how this stuff works, and I need to know when it works. So it's pretty cool. So we'll just hand tight that for now, right? So this right here, as you can see, is the factory Bosch connector. Factory Bosch connector. So the factory harness plugs into here like it would on a factory ECU. Okay? So we would slide this in like this. So let's just say we're sliding them in the chassis. This slides in like this. We would literally slide this in identical. Okay? Now let's talk about the sub harnesses. They send you everything pre-labeled. You cannot mess this up at all. So we'll start with adapter B from one of the banks. An M1 adapter B. Alright? So all the plugs are different pins. Let's say throwing this out there, 30 pin, 26 pin, 38 pin, 20 pin. So you can't mess this up. Adapter B. Yep. Jump it over. So that's adapter B. Clip. Alright, continue on. Let's go adapter C. Clip. And clip. Alright. Now adapter B. We already did a B. There's a C. We need the A. I'm gonna go ahead and pre-assemble this. This is actually going to a client of ours that bought a turbo kit and we shipped it to them, and we're just gonna ship him the Motec package and remotely tune his car for him. Good customer. Right, now we need A, B, C, D header plug. The D has the Ethernet for it. So since you have two ECUs that I had mentioned, one ECU controls 5 cylinders, the other controls the 5 cylinders. So the slave essentially is just a backup and also has the basic settings. It has the ignition map, the map sensors, TPS, etc. All the perks of a standalone, such as boost control, rolling anti-lag, all that stuff gets adjusted in the master. So the only time we plug into the slave is for first initial settings, setting everything up, getting the car running. After that, once it's all running, you do all the adjustments off of the master ECU, and I'll show you guys on the dyno how when you plug into the master how it looks versus the slave. So this plugs into position D, and then you have the Ethernet to be able to communicate with it. So what we do with these bulkheads is we drill the panels, and I'll show you, and we slide them through, and that way we just connect, right? So it's always very crucial to put the Ethernet side on the ECU side, okay? Because that's where we need to communicate. We don't need to communicate with that guy. Pretty simple, right? So now we have the master all set up. See how easy this is? I mean, I'm talking to you guys, being distracted, I'm still able to get this done. Right. Okay, so now that we have both ECUs assembled, we have the master setup and the slave setup. As I'd mentioned, it slides right into the factory positions, you clip it in, it's secured. Now, clearly, the master has to communicate with the slave. And we also have sensors that we have to add. So, follow along. The factory Huracan Gen 2 R8, LP cars, all come with MAF sensors, okay? They're naturally aspirated. Clearly, we're adding force induction. So what Bosch does with, like, let's just say, Bosch, even the GTRs with Nissans, they run MAF sensors, then they run MAP sensors, which is a pressure sensor, but it's absolute sensor, before the throttle body and after the throttle body. So the way it calculates load and all that stuff is very, it's great. It makes the car run great. So this harness, clearly we got to add all the sensors because the car doesn't come with the harness. No, you don't have to wire them yourself. They make it very easy for you, all right? So we're gonna show you this harness that it comes with, okay? The only thing is now you got all these sensors you have to run, right? So on the intercoolers, so we have to add 4 map sensors and 2 temp sensors. Remember, it's essentially 2 engines, right, that we're running. So one side of the engine gets a pre-throttle map sensor, after throttle map sensor, and an intake air temperature sensor. And the same thing with the other bank. So this harness right here has all that for you. We're gonna go ahead and use my car as an example once I show you guys of where it all plugs in. So on this stuff, right, aligned all the knots, let's get it all in clear. Get Hey, think we got enough zip ties, Motec? God damn. All right, so you got this long wire, right? Boom, long. I run this in the back, behind the engine. Run behind the engine, well, Johnny does, really nicely. All right, so let's just say we have master, right, passenger side. We got the slave, don't mind my mess. This harness is gonna be ran on the back. This plug plugs into the back of the adapter. Okay, boom, simple. Now we got bank 2 side, then we got all these sensors, okay? So we have boost controller. I changed the plug to a 2-pin Deutsch. They come with a, what connector is that shit? Like an OBD1 injector style bullshit.
Which one?
The one
Oh, it's an old Bosch 2-pin. 2-pin with the push clip.
I just cut it. Nobody got time for this shit. So I changed it to a Deutsch. 2-pin DTM connector. This, and then the boost solenoid. Boom. Very easy, right? I give it to the client, he mounts it, plugs it in. So, passenger side, right? Remember, each side has its own sensors. So we're gonna talk about passenger side. We know boost solenoid, plugs into this, right? We have a map sensor, okay? Map sensor is gonna be post-throttle body, okay? Then we have intake air temperature sensor, pre-throttle body. Then we have boost sensor, which essentially is another map sensor, but it's pre-throttle body. Boom, done, right? This is, then you plug this in to each side, and you're ready to go. We're gonna use my car, I'm gonna show you. This is the boost sensor, pre-throttle body map sensor. And then the intake air temperature sensor is on the inside of the charge pipes. You can see right here. Maybe you see it. So I use AEM fast reading, which is GM 2-pin Deutsch connector temp sensor. Okay, so pre-throttle body map sensor, intake air temperature sensor. Then the post-throttle body map sensors, I actually remote mount them. I tap the some vacuum lines inside the intake manifold, and then I remote mount them and I put them behind this, the panels. Okay, so you know they don't need to be on the intake manifold. I just run them remote, hide them under the panels. You're good. Then the boost solenoids on my car, since the bumper's off, I'll show you. Come over here. See the boost solenoid? So I run the harness. It's just zip tied right there, right? So each bank has its own boost solenoid. Just like I showed you guys off of Moshi's car, why it's cool to run 2 boost solenoids. You kind of see like how much duty cycle, you know, the variance of duty cycles from one bank to another. That'll, you know, tell you if there's an issue. Just kind of see things a lot more in depth, right? I've learned a lot on the system in the past months of being able to quickly find an issue versus having to chase your tail. Not that I can't find an issue with another manufacturer, it's just time is money. So if you could figure out a problem literally within minutes versus having to take a bumper off and spending 2 hours of finding the problem, 2 hours at the hourly rate we charge is my mortgage. So, yeah. Anyways, so that's the basis of the Motec system. It literally takes Johnny, fat boy, Banson. How long does it take you to install a Motec?
Less than 45 minutes.
And that's removing the panels, mounting everything. 45 minutes, we're good to go, factory mounted. That's it. So, when we make these turbo kits, we add the 1/8-inch bungs in the intercoolers, the charge pipe, for the map sensors and all that. We run 3.5 bar map sensors, which is 50 PSI on all the cars for now, until we start building big boy cars and run more boost. So, we'll go from here.
One thing I wanted to point out is BS for Build somehow got a hold of Truly.
Who's that?
They're the rivals of White Claw. White Claw, where you at? We need that deal.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he got hooked up fat. If you watched the last episode of BS for Build, they went to their garage, wherever they're located, and dropped them off a bunch of Truly.
Oh.
White Claw, where you at? The people need me on the claw. We need me on the team. You might notice the new gear. We'll be doing a drop, I think, end of the week on the web store. So yeah, cop it, you know. Be the hottest kid at high school, college, box factory, wherever you work. Get the dopest shit in the game. Yeah, we just made like a limited run. So if you're large, medium, I think that's it. Nah, we made other sizes, but it's low production run. So, you know, testing the water, see how much you guys love us. Sell it out. It's starting to get cold out. You know what that means? Hoodie season. Don't let your girl steal yours. Or just buy 2. And then your girl can have one, then you can have one.
Who's making hoodies?
We're making hoodies. Our man over here is behind on the production, yeah.
drive it. Going to the dyno. Just one building over. Not bad. Gino, guide me up! Guide me up, fool! You put Johnny to strap a car down? That fucking thing is crooked, ready to fly off the dyno. Don't worry about what gas is in this motherfucker. It's go fast gas, baby. Johnny would just say, it'll be okay, it's fine. It's what we do at the dealer. Pulling the log and sending it to Tony. I forgot to erase the log, so I got 230 megabytes of me driving around. It's all good. How'd it sound? Good? So I sent the log, it's sending to Tony, and I quickly review the log too, right? And I go to boost and I see 149 kPa, 150 kPa, equivalent to 8.2 pounds of boost. Our high boost map is 13 pounds of boost, so it made. And this car's fast. We don't ever talk about power, we just let the cars do the work. But all you tuned fast 720s in LA, come get some. Clearly not on the street, but we'll see you have shift sector. Bring the fastest 720 you got, Bubba, and we'll see what you can do. Real wheel drive versus real wheel drive. I don't normally talk like this, but them 720's been pretty big-headed, you know, thinking they own the streets, which you do because I want street race, right? But real wheel drive versus real wheel drive. Your $400,000 720 versus this $220,000 crap R8. So I've learned the limits to the factory fuel system. 1,000 wheel factory fuel system on gas. So now, I mean, that's what we wanted to do. I don't think Tony's gonna want to give it timing, but I guess we'll find out. We'll see what he wants to do. Because fuel pressure, we're out of fuel. Yeah, it's kind of crazy because the weird thing is the same. Like if I pull up a log for me hitting the car. On the street, let's pull up a log from my car on the street, and on high boost, wide open throttle, high boost, right here. So the load on the dyno is a lot more harder than clearly the street. So like right here, this is second, third, fourth, fifth gear, right? And it's one hit I did. Let's see what fuel pressure is there. So fuel pressure on the driving on the freeway, damn, that's actually pretty low too. 45, 46, 45. Yeah, it's pretty low. We're out of fuel, guys. So Tony and I talk all day long. So he said fuel pressure safety made it most of the way through the run. What was horsepower? I can text him the horsepower, but I can't tell you guys. Truth be told, like, I don't ever put my personal cars in the dyno. There's nothing like, I mean, even like for my, and the reason being, back from like our racing days, back when I was telling you guys, and I don't know if it's gonna be in this video, like UGR and all those guys. Dyno is like cool just to basically, once you get like use the dyno to get a development going. Once your development's done, you'll never use the dyno again. You understand how mile an hour works, how to read a data log, great. Dyno is cool to like basic package setups, finding, you know, optimal timing for pump gas, race gas on that particular car. After you figure that out, the key is making the power hook, turning the boost up, keeping lambda good, keeping the engine healthy, good. That f***ing R8 is gonna f*** up every McLaren in California. As it should. Yo, our DMs are gonna blow up when this video
The
drops.
McKiller?
Hey, I need to get custom plates. 7-ton LOL 720.
I don't know, there's been a lot of fools out there, again, running their mouths.
Did you see that?
I mean, just literally, when we first got the dyno, everybody stopped posting numbers. And then now we haven't posted any, we haven't done any dyno with the boys.
Nah, but why? Because everybody gets their feelings hurt.
Hey, f it. Or they keep their feelings to themselves. People are out there boasting, people out there lifting.
Nah, well, yes, yeah, when we posted all those videos on Sunday, all the 720 guys started coming after me. Bring it anywhere, try, burn out. The 720, all the 720s from the valley.
720s.
McLarens.
Oh. We'll take some butt connectors and wire testers so when they break down we can fix them.
Johnny, bring your all your
power
tools.
probe.
Now I'm gonna get custom plates, 720 LOL.
Oh, talking my style.
Oh, well, I mean, it makes enough power to drag any 720 in California.
Don't really work on 720s. Charlie work on V10s.
Yeah. Charlie works on V10s, and you know what his plates on his GTR say?
Subtle shop
V10 LOL.
Gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, do that. So our little guy right here is the only reason he's trying to fill those plates is he lives by our old street race times. The chase is a race.
Hey, I beat all the V10s except for 2 of them.
So I don't normally do these kind of things unless I know I can flex. Listen, in our industry, if you talk, you better make sure you get back your shit up. So as I mentioned, I haven't put my car on the dyno. I know it's fast, but R8s are so smooth that they're not violent. I know it's fast because I raced our, in Mexico, a couple cars that I know what they make, and yeah. So on the dyno, we just verified that we know that it's a fast car. So with that being said, I got a custom plate that says LOL 720s. 720s are phenomenal. Honestly, they're phenomenal vehicles. Don't let me take away from them. I kind of want one. And there's a handful of them around here with, off-road use items on them that allow them to make more horsepower. And we're gonna see them at shift sector, so I'd figure I give them something to look at when I'm in front of them. Let's go back on the dyno. So as I was stating, the car was running a little rich on that hit, so it hit a safety cut for fuel pressure. It dropped fuel pressure because it was giving the car more fuel than it needed. It's all 770 Lambda, and we don't normally target that rich. We usually target 790, 8.0. So with that being said, we're able to get that fuel pressure back up. Tony wants to make some tweaks on the boost controller, and then we can lean in it with timing, and I think we could free up another, I'm gonna take a guess, another 50 wheel horsepower. So, yeah. Just as I stated, it hit a safety cut because fuel pressure dropped a couple pounds less than our threshold because I turned the car off and on, and I hit it without the Lambda sensors being warmed up. So it was running off of our VE table. It wasn't in closed loop. You always want to run it in closed loop because there's, you have trims, depending on fuel and all that stuff. You always have trims. So it ran at a 770, 760 Lambda, and we run it at 8.0. So Tony turned the boost down to half a pound of boost to be able to dial in the boost solenoid, and then tightened up the Lambda, and then made 10 wheel horsepower more with half a pound boost. So now we'll be able to then lean on it with timing. So I sent the log to him, just as I thought he was going to want to hit it again, fixing the fuel pressure issue. So from here, we just now see how much more timing that we could get out of it. The thing with my car is we've been conservative on timing this whole time, and to be able to dial in the package and dial in timing, you want to run it on the dyno. And then after that, then it's just boost and making a hook, right, and keeping Lambda good. So now I think, to be honest with you, based off of my personal experience, and then he gets to essentially make the decisions. So it's 60 wheel horsepower gain from, if the stars align, from this morning when we put on the dyno. And granted, the car was already making a lot of power, so just dialing in the timing and always putting down above 4 digits to the ground is the key, right? So the tricky part to this car is that it's rear-wheel drive. So regardless of me running on the 325 tire AAA, we'll probably now dial in the boost controller. Tonight we'll probably make some hits. We'll go to TJ because it's just next town over, and make some hits and dial in the boost controller first and second gear, because it rides traction. It rode traction control before, 60 to 130. Second gear and part of third. So traction control is there to cover your ass. You don't ever want to rely on traction control when you're racing. That's just band-aiding it, right? And when people rely on traction control, anytime you're in traction control, you're doing an ignition cut, a fuel cut, you're unloading, disunloading the engine. Clearly you can't hear it or can't feel it, but you want the car to always hook, right? So we have a 3 to 5% slip factor. So we will figure out the slip that it does first and second, do some math, and then turn the boost controller down first and second and make sure it rides barely on traction control, right? We want it to ride on the edge of traction control. And you're always going to adjust the boost controller first and second depending on the conditions of the day, right? So like when we go to shift sector, I'll make 2 hits to dial in the boost controller first and second, and then after that we send it. The same strategies that Tony and I do in drag racing is the same strategies we apply to these cars. The objective is to make it accelerate as quick as you can from point A to point B without relying on traction control. Traction control is only there to cover your ass so you don't lose a good pass, so you don't blow the tire off and kill a pass. Same thing that we do with the track, I'm gonna do for the street. I want to make sure at any given time the car is hooking the best that it can. So I think I'm out of tire. I mean, if I'm having to kill power, it's objectively, if you want to run the most power that you can. So I'm gonna try to fit a Mickey Thompson 325 radial back there. I'm gonna order them today. If I put a radial on this bitch, we're doing wheelies. So while we sit here and wait for Tony, remember the last video you guys met Paul, right? Paul from Virginia, and we talked about his Black Beauty truck. This is it. Now, don't judge it being dusty. The reason why it's dusty is because you don't ever want to touch these things. This color black shows everything. So when it's dirty, we don't touch it. We just wait for the detail company to do what they need to do. So originally the truck belonged to a very good friend of ours as well, Greg Strother. And when Greg had it, Greg's a big car enthusiast. Now, don't make fun of me. I don't know how to open this shit. Oh, right. So when Greg had it, he brought it to us, and we did a long tube 3-step header with merge collectors, big 2 1/4 inch headers. Look at, I think it looks pretty bitchin', right? Symmetrical as hell. Paul flew in to talk to me about his Performante, and when he flew in, he walked in and saw this, and he says, "I need to buy this." So Paul bought this, and Paul sent it back to Virginia, drove it, took it to another shop in Virginia that couldn't really handle their own. Paul got frustrated and just sent it back to us to handle it. Since that, Paul's like, you know what? This is my dream truck. Turn it in. It's fuel injected, but it's only it's kind of like a carburetor style. Don't make fun of me. Don't clown me. I don't know much, but it's like a dual port fuel injected. So we're gonna swap that to a individual port, and then we're gonna put on Holley EFI. We're putting a pair of Nelson mirror image 72mm turbos on it. Changing the transmission to something with an overdrive. I saw you guys clowning Johnny about that. I'll let you guys, you GM guys, can tell me what training we should put in this for a pair of 72mm 1200 horsepower truck. So yeah, exciting. We're gonna start on this. We have all the parts. We should start on this in the next week or so. Now that we're getting caught up with all the V10 stuff, I'll throw one of the fabricators on here and Charlie, because he likes to get creative and do all this weird stuff. Nick loves doing the Lamborghini stuff now, so I just throw Nick on V10 stuff and he knocks them out. And Charlie does all that one-off weird stuff. So yeah, that should be cool. It's gonna be exciting. I shouldn't have touched that. I shouldn't have done that. Check out the quality of this thing. Look at this thing. So when Greg owned it, he restored the whole thing. I mean, the thing's beautiful. It's bitchin', right? Look at the bed of this thing. All wood, just beautiful truck. No corners were cut in this build. Greg, when he does a car, he kills it. Oh, you guys want to see that thing? I know you guys see it in the background every once in a while. Look at this baby, hey baby. is our actual race car. It's my personal Huracan, and I wonder if Tony's cool about us talking. Fuck it, we'll talk about it. This is going to be our 3,000 plus horsepower build that Tony and I are doing together. Engine, I bought the transmission. I gotta pay them for it, but the transmission's ordered. Engine's done. Turbos are ordered. Set of large train precision turbos. This is gonna be our test mule to be able to go out there and be able to at least be competitive in the half, the half mile stuff. I'm not trying to break anything, any records. Clearly, everybody that's been doing it long enough than us has got a great track record. But it's time for us now to jump onto that style of building. You know, we have the street packages done, and I feel confident saying very, very good, reliable kits. And now, you know, you got the gentlemen such as, you know, people like me that like, yo, you know, let's build crazy powers. So this is gonna be our big power car that's probably gonna break a lot on us, because that's what happens when those race cars, you know, those things break all the time. What you don't know about cars making those kind of powers is they break all the time. And I'm comfortable with that. Now, you know, thankfully, you know, God's blessings, we've done very well where we could now put some money into, you know, product development and building our own in-house race car, just like what we did with the Honda stuff. I mean, shit, Charlie and I, out of my garage, I had a full-time job at Webb. Charlie was welding, right? And literally all our profits, you know, from turbo manifolds was being dumped into my Integra. If I had $300 in my pocket, 301 would be spent in the Integra. So now we're gonna do the same thing we did with that, and we happen to, you know, put a name for ourselves in that industry and become very reputable very quick. And I know we're reputable in this industry, and we have a phenomenal customers and following, but now we want to go and compete. We want to go have some fun. So now I'm going to take my little extra earnings after I pay all the bills, you know, and take care of the family and invest in the businesses and put back in the business. But, you know, got a couple dollars left. We're going to dump into that. So yeah, I look forward to that. So in the meantime, that's why I've been messing with this. It's like more street development, right? Like it was lacking in having, you know, Tony, a partner in this is probably been the best move, you know. And the funny thing is, back like I just told you guys about when I saved all my money and I did the Honda thing, it was Tony that developed that with me as well. It's crazy, huh? By the way, she's for sale. Remember I was just telling you guys I need pennies to fund that. Drives phenomenal, you could drive it every day. Custom 3-piece Bowden rims, fat tire, Motec, clutch. I'll even give you 2-year, 24,000 mile warranty on the stuff that we did. 230,000, come get it. I'll ship it anywhere you want in the world. Anyways, we got an update from Tony, so let's hit it again. Dynos will either make you fucking cry or make you really happy. Another 20 wheel horsepower. So we're at 56 wheel horsepower gain so far.
What, 13 now?
No, we're f***ing with timing. That's why we put it on the dyno to optimize timing on it. You can make power with, I was explaining with them how everybody could throw a boost at something.
Yeah.
It's not making
Whoa. On that?
Is it making any more with power? Or
God damn, so what's it like?
Huh?
Is it making any more with timer?
Oh, yeah. So since we started with timing, we're up 56 horsepower gain just on timing.
You're already at limit on boost?
No, we turned the boost down to 12 pounds of boost. So we could timing. So now he wants to play with cam timing. So maybe we could get another 20 out of cam timing. So we get an 80 wheel horsepower gain by timing control. And then when we're done, we'll throw another pound and a half boost out of it. So on top of what we're seeing there is 150 wheel more. You might want to back out that Corvette.
That Corvette's gonna outlast all these shit.
Oh, what's with your fucking negativity? Do you know what you work on? Knock on some fucking wood, bro. God damn it. Get out of here with your bad juju. What's wrong with your brother?
I don't know. He loves America.
Hey, listen, I ain't complaining. I got every tool in the fucking world. I probably even have cut. Did you tell I don't work in shipping?
See him open right in his bag?
1 week's worth of clutches. They don't got an extra large and you're getting fat.
Yeah, you know. Eating good.
Wow, this is a nice material actually. Check it out. Wow, that's actually really nice. Look at that, touch that. Like that breathing shit.
Oh yeah, it's like a sports shirt. Go lift weights at the gym with that.
Yeah, this is nice. I'm not giving you these, I'm keeping them.
Oh come on!
Oh, they sent more. Hold
Like
on.
you guys kept all that boat and shit.
He kept all the boat in.
What's up,
You were
Josh?
big flexing on the boat.
What's up, Josh?
Braga.
You know?
That's not Josh's fault. This guy over here. Oh wait, we got more. Hey, little meatball still thinks he can wear a medium.
Yeah.
He's like this. He's like he's walking around the shop like that.
Go put one on meatball stable. Would you give him
I don't know.
All right, I'll tell you what.
Everyone's been telling their moms to
Makes
fucking
a post
subscribe.
on this video that drops. Make a post on your actual Insta story. Tag Dotson. Tag T1 Race. Tag SheepeyRace.
And Nick Spalding.
And then tell them to type, put the, tell people to go subscribe to our channel. All right? We'll randomly select somebody and we'll send you a shirt, Dotson shirt. We'll send you a T1 Race shirt, even though Tony doesn't know we're giving one away yet. We're gonna give you a Sheepy shirt and a Sheepy dad cap.
Damn.
There we go. That's
Even if you're not a dad.
Even if
We
you're
got
not
the
a pop.
cap ready to go right there.
Yeah.
It's already in the shipping department.
Yeah, Johnny wore that last
Oh, hold up, that's mine. No, let me get that.
That is Nick's. Give it to Nick. You guys like just taking and wearing it. You don't
I
think
took
it
it
costs
off
money?
when I was slaving under somebody's shit on the floor, like looking up.
All right, so you get a Dotson shirt, a T1 Race shirt, a Sheepy shirt, and a dad cap. And if you
God
want,
damn.
we'll have fucking Man Code right here. Sign the motherfucker.
Hell yeah, what's up? I'll put
So,
my phone number on the
you
back.
know what you gotta do? This video that drops, make an actual post. Hashtagging T1 Race, Dotson, SheepeyRace, then do the at SheepeyRace, at T1 Race, and then tell everybody to subscribe.
Boy fall.
Come on. Hey, we need to get you fucking sponsored
By White Claw.
Oh hi.
Any sister? So this is our local Thai spot. S Thai.
So how many things do we eat a week?
Well, he's got a short list. It's either tacos, Thai. He likes Wendy's. We'll meet in the middle at In-N-Out. Pizza.
That's it.
That's pretty much it. He doesn't venture out, you know.
All I eat during the week. Well, now fucking we got Chino supposed to be cooking healthy for us because I'm getting
That
fat.
fool made ribs the other day.
Oh, that shit was bomb.
It was good, but it was like,
Johnny and I are getting fat. We gotta get on a diet.
Getting
Yeah.
Johnny been fat. Look at that. Johnny's skinny fat though.
I'm
He's
skinny fat. Yeah, I look skinny, but you know.
Got the dad bod.
Yeah.
Total dad bod, fool.
Hey, I'm 30 now. I'm
He looks
allowed.
like a fucking piece of Play-Doh under there.
Yeah, so we come here all the time. You guys are ever in the Temecula area, check them out. S Thai.
We want a discount.
Best Thai spot. The shit. We come here 3 times a week. Easy. I got my own plate. Yo, if you guys come, ask for Alex's plate. I'm telling you, say Alex's plate. They'll know what's up. I hope you got big balls because it's spicy as shit.
We're doing commercial for you. You know, in Hispanic culture, it doesn't matter how old you are. You're always mija or mijo. Mija, ready to order. Shrimp pad thai.
The usual. You just, hey, no need for extra chicken and extra noodle. Just the normal amount of chicken and noodle, but you know how to make it.
Because he thinks he's getting fat. He knows he's getting fat.
Come to the house tonight. We'll go out to TJ, and then we'll bring some VHT. We'll do a big burnout, and we'll hit that. See what we get the 60 to 130. Do you have one of those IDs at the passport?
Yeah.
True ID.
I think we get that car to go like a 4.0.
On Sunday, my mom asked me if we really go to TJ because the other day I did a post and I tagged in TJ. And she's like, "You guys go to TJ?" I'm like, "Yeah, we go like twice
Say
a
it
week."
the way she says it though in Spanish.
Ustedes fueron a Tijuana el otro día. And I'm like, sí, fuimos un rato. ¿Por qué los van a matar en Tijuana con esos autos?
Your mom's comedy, bro.
You know, be good in this rum. You add some rum to a Thai iced tea. Damn, now we're really drinking. Did you charge me $79?
Yeah, I did it wrong. I had to put like gravity. Right?
Yeah, I'm surprised it went through.
Yeah. Can I avoid
God damn, Johnny.
Damn
Get
it,
the
you
sticker.
got caught. You got rainbows on the side. Shit.
Dotted line, the last pass, solid line pass now. So it's up. Remember, timing. You're gonna notice it mostly throughout the entire power band. Granted, we went to lunch and the car sat, but still, to gain like that, I mean, it gained 22 wheel horsepower. So now we're at 56, 75 wheel horsepower gain just by optimizing timing on race fuel. That 75 horsepower gain will not be there when I do my pump gas map. On pump gas map, drive it every day, it's fine. 850 wheel horsepower on pump gas is more than enough gas for every day.
So if you guys enjoyed today's video, reshare, like it, and we'll keep making these because obviously there's an audience for it. And I mean, if we could show you a little bit of our world every day without taking much time of our day, why not, right? It's a win-win. So yeah, you guys will see another video later in the week.
Yeah, so that's pretty much a wrap on V10 stock engine. A lot of goddamn power.